Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new season of the Nitro Racing League. First up, we have the Clash this season of the Cup Series, but we were running dirt cars at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we got to run custom cars. So I went for a very bright kind of looking car, as you can see from that there, but it was basically a 100-lap Clash at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we knew it was going to be chaos because it's Bristol dirt, and we just knew it wasn't going to be well. I started P3. We didn't get going until lap 3 because we had to actually get the starting order set up, and well, you're going to see exactly what happened. I wrecked myself and take out a whole bunch of people and cause the first caution of the race now, as we would have a weird rule in place for this race and apparently for the season, where if a crash happens and a caution comes out, we actually have to race it back to the line like they did in the old days now. So that's really weird, in my opinion, a terrible rule, but it's a thing now. But we come through making up some ground, and it was just an absolute disastrous start to this race. As you can see, cars going everywhere. Once again, we were racing it back to the line because another caution had come out, so we were all of a sudden up into like P11 here, doing good now as we were coming through turns 1 and out of turns 2. Right here, the caution, I should mention, at this point was not out, but we would make the pass for P9. But you see cars on the inside crash. There's a good 20 people in here. We had a mix of truck drivers and Xfinity cars, or drivers, now were allowed to race with us here in the Cup Series Clash. So we come through to lap 11, and everybody coming together right here as we come through out of turns 2, and it was once again a disaster. I'm all over the place making contact with Blake there into turns 3. I slammed the wall. Jay hits me from behind, and next thing you know, I'm getting hit again. Then we got a car just somersaulting out of turns 4. He's up and over, and now I'm coming through again, and next thing you know, we're in P9, and obviously the caution would end up coming out, but we were still on the lap of racing it back to the caution, and it was an absolute disaster. I come through to cross the line. I am now P6 as the caution officially comes out. To give an idea of how crazy these racing it back to the caution can be, I was like P14 when they started crashing for the initial caution, and I got to P6 by the time we actually got to the line and called the official caution. So once again, we were back underway, though. I actually crashed myself, by the way, under caution, so I was back in like 15th again here. Then, while we have that moment there, a car just goes launching over us. It's no big deal. At this point, it was just so chaotic. It was just hanging on for dear life and just hoping for the best, and I wasn't surprised one bit to see a car go flying over me like that at this point now, as we come through out of turns 2. So we were back up into P13 trying to work our way through the field here. But the best part about this was it was just for us all to have a fun time and get ready for the start of the Nitro season. The duels were actually Thursday night. This video will be going out on Monday. Now, as Jay and myself have a bit of a moment there, but then the actual Daytona 500 for the Nitro Racing League will be held on Saturday night of this week, so stay tuned for that as well. But we ended up getting another caution at about a quarter of the way through this race, and overall this race only took just about 30 minutes or so it wasn't very long, which made it for a very quick video. As you guys can, I'm sure, see, it's only like 11.5-minute video now as we come through on now lap 27, just trying to make some moves. I pull a huge slide job on Dylan there. Dylan actually was a good friend of mine way back in the day. I ended up wrecking him, but he's actually from Canada too. We've known each other for a long time, kind of got disconnected, and now we've reconnected a bit. He's in the Nitro League with us, and we'll be racing with him maybe sometimes throughout the year now, as hopefully he'll be in the Cup Series soon as well, as we come through trying to make a pass now on Matt O'Brien, who of course owns the Nitro League, and sure enough, we complete that pass. We come through to lap 30, almost 30% of the way through this race, and we are now back into the top 10, right behind Matt Chaffee. There was some ghosting issues, as you can see here, as Matt was just a complete ghost as I just about drive into the back of him there now on lap 32, but everybody was really close together. We were having a decent green flag run here now as we came through turn 3, but then actually you just saw behind me a guy got destroyed as we come through the turns 4. I look to the outside of Chaffee down into turns 1, but one of the things that's going to be interesting this season in Nitro is when we have more than 16 drivers, we will have 2 different parties going on for everybody to be able to communicate with each other to determine when a caution is going to come out and whatnot. So there will be 2 party leaders like Matt, and then somebody else that's a designated party leader, so we can cooperate with everybody now. As you guys know, you can only have 16 people, I think it is, in an Xbox party. So when we have more than 16, we're forced into multiple parties now. As a caution would actually come out again on lap 40, we once again got back underway. I was behind Kyle Busch 05, and I felt like I was right behind this guy for probably, like, it felt like at least half of this race, and you're going to see that as we go on. One of the drivers, though, that was running up front was Mahu. He was the Truck Series champion last season, moves up into the Cup Series, and now as it's going to be interesting to see what he can do moving from the Trucks to the Cup Series now, as we were right behind Kyle Busch 05 there. A little bit of contact with him as we go down into turns 1, but Mahu was pretty much like driving away with this race at this point now, as I pull a bit of a slider on Kyle Busch 05 there, move up into now P4 as I'm trying to run down Cameron here into turns 1 and 2, and you can see the mistakes I was making. We were already halfway through this race now as we went down this back straightaway. So I end up losing a spot there to Kyle Busch 05. I tried to fight back right here on the outside, but out of turns 4, just couldn't quite pull it off now. So we had to settle in for that 5th spot now. But then once again, the caution would come out with 48 laps to go in this race now. So we were once again getting back underway. I kind of pull a bit of a jump here on the restart, just trying to take advantage. I was like, you know what, it's the Clash, no points, all for fun. I'm just going to try and take advantage as much as I can. Unfortunately, actually didn't work because I didn't get through turns 1 and 2 very well now, as I make a bit of a mistake there, clip the wall a little bit now, as Eddie, he was up here in the mix as well with myself. Both of us were racing around each other quite a bit throughout the last half of this race. As you can see me continuing to make some mistakes there, clipping that outside wall now as Eddie moves through into P5, actually pinches us into the wall just a little bit there as there's a car crash on the inside, and as we come through out of turns 4, well, the caution actually was coming out again here in Bristol, so we would once again get ready for a restart, and Eddie did the same thing I did on the restart before, trying to jump it, and I had a terrible launch, but now Eddie to the outside of Kyle Busch 05 as he comes through out of turns 2, trying to move up into 4th, maybe even 3rd now as we come through, approaching lap 60 as I get into the back of Kyle Busch 05. I was hauling the mail into that corner. We have a bit of a moment on the exit of turn 4. We come together, I get into the outside wall, but we all keep it going in the right direction. Then we come through now to lap 69. Nice. Just 32 laps to go in this race. And once again, we were kind of settling in for a bit of a lengthy green flag run. And when I say a lengthy green flag run in this race, it was like 5 laps at this point, it felt like now. As we come through out of turns 4, making some more mistakes. Behind me was Jay, and he was trying to close the gap to myself now as well. You can see a bit of a moment right there as we come through out of turns 4 with Matt and some other lap car as well. The caution once again was going to come out. So now it was 28 laps to go, and we would get ready once again for another restart here on lap 75. And I was all of a sudden having really bad restarts here now with 25 laps to go, and the restart we just did was really bad for myself as well. And then I make a mistake there out of turns 2, clip that outside wall, allowing Jay to get right to the back of me now as we dive down into turns 3. But the outside is exactly where you want to be here today, and so everybody had kind of caught on to that as this race went on, so it was getting even trickier to make passes as we got further and further into this race. Now Jay was trying to pressure me to the inside here as we go down the back straight away into turn 3. It was still Mahu up there towards the front, and Blake, but Blake actually, I think that was wrecked himself, if I am not mistaken, that was who it was, and gave up the win by doing that now as we would continue on our way into the outside wall for the 17th time in this episode now, as now Eddie up the inside of me once again now as we come through turns 3 and 4 into the wall again. Now we cross him over. We were racing it back to the line for a caution, by the way, and fortunately we passed Eddie right at the last moment at the line to get P4, and that would set us up for a restart now with 20 laps to go here at Bristol Dirt, and that's not long at all because it takes less than 20 seconds to get around here. So 20 laps, you do not have a lot of time to make anything happen. So now running P4, knowing we're running out of time to maybe go for the Clash victory. Now we had a Clash last season, if you guys remember, but it was actually still with the Cup cars at Daytona, and we did not win that one either. So we're trying to go and at least get our first Clash win here tonight, but it's going to be very tough now as we come through out of turns. See, I was actually very surprised to find out people actually practiced for this race, even knowing how chaotic it was going to be. Now, as I just went into the race, no practice whatsoever, and I was just like, we're just going to hope for the best. Now as we come through, though, approaching the final 10 laps of this race, it was kind of a 2-car breakaway with Mahu as well as Cameron, and then it was Kyle Busch 05 and myself, and then Eddie right behind me. But we come through with 9 laps to go, and we had another caution come out, so this would set us up for a very late race restart, a bit of an awkward restart, but it was still better than some of the previous ones I had been getting. So we were now with 7 laps to go with some contact between Cameron and Kyle Busch 05, so I take the opportunity, jump up on his outside, get through into 3 and 4, and now we are going to be able to clear him and hold on to P3 here within the final 10 laps of this race. So now I knew I probably didn't have the speed to contend with the 2 cars in front of me of Cameron and Mahu, so basically what I was hoping for was they were just going to go at it for the win and come together, and then maybe I could somehow slide through and win the race. That was the ultimate hope. I knew it was pretty unlikely, especially especially when we ended up getting another caution as we crossed the line with 5 laps to go, setting us up for now a 3-lap dash to end this race. And Mahu got off to a pretty good launch there, but he makes a bit of a mistake through turns 1 and 2, and that puts Cameron right on the back of him as we go down into turns 3 and 4. Now approaching the final 2 laps as I just full sent it into turn 3 right there as we come through now down the front straightaway. 2 laps remain and we're right on the back of Cameron, but I knew that if I battle him, there's zero chance of us going for a win. So I was like, you know what, we're just going to play it simple, and then it helps when I hit the wall to increase the gap between myself and Cameron, but we're just going to play it simple, let those two go at it in front of us and hope for the best. So we come through now to the final lap already of the Nitro Series, or of the Nitro Cup Series clash. Once again, like I said, hoping they would come together as we come through out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. They're now side by side into turns 3 and 4. Cameron tries to lean on Mahu a little bit, but he had pretty much nothing right there as he runs into him out of turns 4, but it was nothing. So we come through to finish in P3 in the Bristol Dirt Nitro Cup Series clash in the dirt cars. Now, as you see the rest of the finishing order, RC Luke was last, but I guess he accidentally left the lobby or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So very unfortunate for him, but if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do, and next time you see the Nitro Racing League will be later this week for the duels, and then you'll probably see the Daytona 500 either Sunday or the following Monday. So if you guys enjoyed, like I said, you know what to do. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode. What did you think of the race? I thought it was just absolutely insane with all the crashes going on. But before we end it, just want to say a quick thank you to the Going Racing members of MJ, Dana 9302, Joseph 9001, RJ, Timothy A, Bubba Jr., King Matt XL, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasura, as well as Russell Dixon. As I always mention, you guys help me out so much, and I really do appreciate your continued support. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.